If you're watching this video, then you're probably already a huge fan of Shadow and Bone. The epic fantasy saga has finally made it to the screen in Netflix's stunning fantasy epic. But after an action-packed 8 episodes, you might have some questions about the fate of Mal, Alina, the Darkling, and Crows. So we're here to solve those mysteries, answer your queries, and break down the epic finale. Then, we dive into some theories of Season 2. We did some investigating, and this is what we found. This is Shadow and Bone Season 1 ending explained in Season 2 theories. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that post notification bell so you never miss another update from us. What happened in the first season? Shadow and Bone is the Netflix adaptation of Leigh Bardugo's popular Grishaverse trilogy, which had debuted on April 23rd and has taken the world by storm. The show is set in Ravka, a fictional country divided by the mysterious Shadow Folds, an area of overwhelming darkness and home to Volcra, who are vicious creatures that feast on humans. The series follows soldier and orphan Alina Starkov, Jessie Mei Li, as she discovers her ability to control and manipulate light, making her the Sun Summoner, the one person in existence who might finally destroy the Fold and reunite the divided country, a destiny she at first tries to avoid. Alina's incredible power draws plenty of attention from role players in Ravka throughout the season, especially from General Kirigan, Ben Barnes, aka the Darkling, the mysterious shadow summoning leader of the Second Army. This army consists of different kinds of Grisha. These people are humans with the ability to practice quote-unquote small science, meaning that they can manipulate matter in its basic forms. Once her abilities manifest into a crossing of the Fold, Alina is whisked away for proper training as a Grisha so she can learn to control her abilities, surviving an ambush along the way. But that's easier said than done, as Alina attempts to adjust her new life at the Little Palace without her lifelong best friend Mal, Archie Renaux. She must also survive a kidnapping attempt by a gang of criminals known as the Crows, and 2 betrayals from those closest to her, a Grisha named Genya, Daisy Heed, and Kirigan himself. The final episode of Season 1. Throughout the series, General Kirigan has been at the core of the struggles of Ravka. Though he was introduced as a potential savior, Baghra later revealed that rather than being a reluctant hero trying to fix the mistakes of his ancestors, the Black Heretic, Kirigan and the Black Heretic are one and the same. Yep, Ben Barnes' sexy Grisha leader is actually a centuries-old madman and probably the most powerful Grisha who ever lived, and he was the one who created the Fold. So, if that's the case, why would he want Alina to help him destroy it? Well, the show hints that Kirigan might have a little regret for what he created, and he does have a noble goal, to protect Grisha from the oppression they face at the hands of the human world. But as it's revealed in the finale, even with all of that said, he doesn't really want to destroy the Fold at all. Instead, his plan was to use Morosava's stag to control Alina's powers. Thanks to Duras David, he was able to meld the amplifier to Alina's skin and use a strange device to connect it to him. Then, on the trip into the Fold, where the pair were meant to destroy the dangerous wasteland, Kirigan instead expanded it, demolishing the shores of Novokrizbersk, and in turn his competition. But thanks to the work and the power of Alina Starkov, his plan only managed to destroy Novokrizbersk before she put a stop to it. So how did she manage to break the Darkling's control? Well, earlier in the series, it was established that whoever killed an amplifier was the one able to wield its powers. But the reality of the situation is actually different. While that does work in practice, there is a deeper connection between the amplifier and Grisha, one of agency and choice. In the moment that Alina decided not to kill the stag and instead to try to find another way, she was chosen by the creature. That choice allowed her to break the Darkling's connection and control. It's an interesting bit of lore that isn't concretely introduced until the most recent novel in the series, Rule of Wolves, but it's a powerful movement that redefines Alina and her powers. With the connection to the amplifier far more powerful than the Darklings, Alina is able to beat back Kirigan and save the skiff. But while it seems like a happy ending for those who survived, it might not be the end of the story for the Black Heretic. One of the biggest changes from the original Shadow and Bone book was the inclusion of the group of young thieves from Ketterdam known as the Crows. Kaz, Jesper, and Ingi were introduced on a mission to kidnap Alina, but during the finale, they became unexpected allies to Alina and Mal. While it is hard to call Kaz Brecker a good guy, he's a character defined by survival, and in the end, Allying with Mal and Alana was a choice that would help him and his team live to see another day. With the Darkling on a shadow-making splurge, the trio needed a way out, and the best way was the Sun Summoner. Plus, the fact that Inji is a woman of faith and believes that Alana and her powers to change the world also probably helped push back Kaz in the right direction. Once the crew escaped off the skiff, Alana patted Kaz off with a piece of jewelry given to her by the Darkling. It's a small indication that Kaz didn't make a choice based on morals, and that while it might have helped Alana and Mal survive, the former is very aware of the fact that Kaz would have captured and sold her if it hadn't been an option. Or would he have? With the combined might of the crows, Alana, Mal, and the squaller Zoya, it seemed like the Darkling might have been defeated. But as he walked out of the fold in the final moments of the finale, it was clear that not only is the Darkling not dead, but he has a new power. Ben Barnes's regal villain was followed out by the Shadowfold by creatures made of pure darkness. In the books, these horrifying creatures are known as Nichavoya. The creatures are creations of the Darkling and can be manifested at will at a near-immortal army with an unending supply of soldiers. While this show doesn't explicitly state this, we know Alana and Mal are getting out of Ravka and are heading for freedom. While the show hasn't gotten a second season yet, if it does, then it's likely it's going to take from the second book in the series, Siege and Storm. In that story, Mal and Alana escape Ravka and go on to run to Novia Zem, but are being haunted by the Darkling and those who want to wield Alana's power. So even if they do end up somewhere else in the next season, expect them to face down the Darkling sooner rather than later. Will there be a season 2? It is rare for Netflix to renew a series before the first season has been released, which makes sense, as they'll wait to gather enough data to be able to see if there is an audience. Despite that history, there are some hopeful signs that Shadow and Bone will get a second season on the streaming platform. The first is that, while there hasn't been an official announcement regarding season 2, there have been some reports that behind the scenes, Netflix is moving as though the series has already been renewed according to what's on Netflix. However, it is important to note that until word comes officially from the platform, there's no way to know for sure if another season is coming. The same mistake was made with the series Wu Assassins, where an insider at Netflix assured there would be a second season, but it turned out the insider was wrong. Another promising indicator of a potential renewal is the fact that there's plenty of source material for Shadow and Bone, as showrunner Eric Hauser has to draw from. There's also 3 books in Leigh Bardugo's Grisha series, upon which the show is based, and it draws from Bardugo's Six of Crows duology, which fleshes out the Grishaverse. In other words, the writer's room will not have to look far for inspiration when it comes to plotting any future chapters, even past the point of season 2. So let's hope it gets there. The cast. The main characters in Shadow and Bone are all important figures in the Grishaverse books, so expect to see most of your favorites back in action if season 2 happens. Jessie Mei Li as Alana Sarkov, our powerful heroine, Ben Barnes as General Kirigan, or the Darkling, as the main antagonist, Archie Renaux as Malin Mal or Tezev, Alana's best friend and maybe even love interest, Freddie Carter as Kaz Brecker, our likable anti-hero, Amita Suman as Inej Gahafa as the mysterious thief working for Kaz, Kit Young as Jesper Faye, the ever-confident supreme gunslinger, Danielle Galligan as Nina Zenek, who is the heart renderer who joins the Crows, Callahan Skogman as Mateus Helvar, the man with a conscience, and Daisy Heed as Jenna Safin, the tailor who will betray Alana deeply. The book also does hint at the introduction of some exciting new cast members. Siege and Storm introduces charming rogue Nikolai Landstov, who has his own Grishaverse duology, King of Scars, while the main Six of Crows storyline includes demolitions expert Wyland Van Eck. It's a safe bet that both these characters could possibly play large roles in the future seasons of Shadow and Bone. Season 2 plot. Shadow and Bone Season 1 was based on the novel of the same name, which is the first entry in Bardugo's Shadow and Bone trilogy. Season 2 would more than likely follow the plot of the second book, Siege and Storm. The story follows Alana after she and Mal run away and struggle to hide from her destiny as the Sun Summoner, while the Darkling wields terrifying new powers. Meanwhile, the Crows Season 1 storyline was a prequel, so perhaps Season 2 will adopt more of the Six of Crows duology's epic heist adventures. That is one thing that most of us would like to see, since they're so entertaining. I think we're all looking forward to the next season of Shadow and Bone. We hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the post notifications, so that way you never miss another update from us. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.